Okay, now it's working. Okay, there you go. Okay, let's look at this. Number seven, actually, we didn't have any problem regarding the first verb. So looking at pata under the prefix pronoun, we will quickly think about the possibility of the Hebrew stem. But if you are dealing with a verb which is double weak verb, then you need to be really careful because there is no difference between the car stem and the Hebrew stem. So we have to determine which stems we have depending on the context. Okay, so David, so David is the subject. So regarding the usage of lot, actually I was first confused and I need to admit that I made a mistake and trying to finish everything quickly and then I didn't really pay attention to the presence of Holem. So Kanae, you're right, actually recognizing the presence of Holem. So in that case, it cannot be infinitive construct. So now I think it was a really good mistake for me to make to help you understand the confusing parts because we need to sometimes understand what kind of things can end in ought ending. And then I was quickly, jumping into the conclusion that should be infinitive construct, right? Infinitive construct, the third hair can be ending in ought. Not only that, but also participle form can end in ought ending. And it's good that the first vowel pointing is a holem, which is the most important indicator of a participle. So in terms of a form and then appearance, it looks like uh, what is that? Feminine plural participle form. But although it looks like participle form, it's not. Actually, I will show you your vocabulary. I think you've memorized this word hola 166. Do you remember? Hola. So hola itself is a noun. So it's a feminine noun meaning burnt offering. Okay. So hola, as you can see that the ah ending is also, you can consider like this one is feminine singular participle form. Actually, they have kind of a close relationship between the noun ending and then participle ending. And I told you the function, the most important function of a participle verb is to be like a noun. So in fact, there is no really big difference in terms of the function. But sometimes we do have some words and noun like this. So you might be confused. So we need to really look at it through the lens of the context in order for us to see it. But I didn't really see the possibility of the noun either. So this one is olla and feminine word, and then the plural form of this olla is gonna be ot ending as well. Okay, so this one is one to three. Then olot is the feminine plural noun of burnt offering. So the meaning is burnt offerings. So then, yeah, it didn't really make full sense. If we make it as infinitive construct, then we are missing the objective, right? So here, and David in the Hebrew stem, what are you going to translate it? Caused something to go up. So brought up. So and David brought up what? Before in the presence of God. What? In the presence of God, what? Burnt offerings. So that's how we need to interpret it. So now it's good that by chance, anyway, we came across several possibility in trying to analyze the word or lot. So when you look at a word ending in ot ending, then you need to think about those possibilities. Okay. So first of all, infinitive construct third here, but it was a great lesson that we need to make sure that we have holem in the beginning. Secondly, you can think about also a participle feminine plural ending, but it will certainly depend on the context as well. And lastly, like today's case, we need to also be aware of the possibility of noun, feminine plural ending as well. Okay, so my apologies again, and then I think it can be even great comfort to you. Even Hebrew teachers can be confused easily. So when you are confused, don't get too much frustrated and disappointed. Okay, so let's move on. Do you have any question regarding number 7? Okay, then let's move on. Lesson 35. Okay. Okay, let's read it first. I want to ask who hasn't done this? Ami, would you read this, please? Lesson 35.
Yes, sir. Okay. Uh, 비히옷 샤을 멜레크 아따 하모지 베하메비 엑 이스라엘.
Thank you. Good job. And then let's do it one more time. Amos.
All right, yes, sir. Big yacht,
Mhm.
Shaul, Melech, Ata, Motzi, Hamevi, et Israel.
Okay, good job. Today we are going to talk about third hair infinitive construct with preposition. Here we go. Third hair infinitive construct is gonna be a good reminder, and then it will always come with a lot that I need to be careful with. Third hair infinitive construct. So today we're going to talk about it, and then the second one is first your verb he feel participle. Again, we are going to talk about he feel participle, and then hello verb he feel participle. Okay, let's talk about the participle form first. I told you um, there are four stems that are taking preformative mem when they are used in the specific form of participle. Okay, so when you look at preformative mem, then it should be either hifil, hofal, pie, puar. So now, when we are thinking about hipil participle and hipil participle for first yod verb and hello verb, and what do you expect? What preformative do you expect? Told you the most important diagnostic uh, of participle in the hipil stem should be preformative mem. So dealing with first yod verb and hello verb, we are going to deal with preformative mem. So in Hebrew 2, it is safe for us to consider the preformative mem as participle. Okay, so start with the form of participle. If you have the preformative mem, and you are going to determine the right stem looking at the vowel point and then the secondary clue, which is sometimes the yod in between the second and third letters in case of Hebrew. So we're going to talk about this. And then let's talk about third here, infinitive construct with preposition. So today we are going to deal with a case of infinitive construct which has nothing to do with the preposition lamed. Previously, whenever we are dealing with a preposition, infinitive construct, they normally come together with the specific preposition lamed. So the translation was to do something. Do you remember? But we are going to deal with another case, like the preposition be and ke. So if you have a infinitive construct that is coming together with preposition be or ke, then the translation of the infinitive construct will be different from that of lamed. In case of lamed, we normally put what? To, the preposition to in English. But to tell you the conclusion today, if you have infinitive construct together with preposition be or ke, then you are going to put when. When. W-H-E-N. And you have to determine the subject properly. Normally, the subject is just following the infinitive construct verb. Okay, so what is following the infinitive construct is most likely the subject. Okay, we are going to talk about it. So today, if we understand these two things, then we are done. Let me ask you this question again. If you have infinitive construct attached to the prepositions like be or ke, then do not use to, English to. You need to put when, and you have to determine the right subject. And then the tense would be normally past tense. Not all the time, but past tense will work most of the time. Okay, and then first you'd verb he feel participle. Then what do you expect? Okay, as I said, he feel participle should come with the preformative mem. And since this is first yod verb in the he feel, then the yod will be replaced by, do you remember this? In the Hebrew stem, the first yod has to be, yes, replaced by holem plane in the Hebrew stem. So that's what we can expect. And secondly, hello verb Hebrew participle. Okay, in case of Hebrew participle, then what is the most expected form? Okay, forget about hello verb. What is the expected preformative for Hebrew participle? Mem.
Mem.
And then what? What specific verb pointing?
Pata.
Yes, pata, you are right. And what about then hello verb? Can you think about it?
Sure.
No. Actually, sure can be, but that is not what I'm expecting, to be honest. Actually, sure can be for other gender number. It's a tsere. Actually, tsere. So this is what we are going to talk about. I think this is a new thing. So we are going to look at the verb chart again. So for hello verb Hebrew participle, we are going to have preformative mem and then tsere for masculine singular. But for feminine singular and then masculine plural, feminine plural, we are going to have shua. Then the question is, oh, Pastor, I think mem and shua was also used for other stems like PL, right? Do you remember this? But don't worry. In the case of a PL stem, it will come with dagesh porte. Okay? So if you have mem and shua, then you need to think about whether or not we have dagesh porte in the middle. Then it's most likely you even have PL participle form. And at the same time, as I told you, Only masculine singular will come with tsere. When it comes to feminine singular and then masculine plural and then feminine plural, they will come with shua. Then you expect a specific ending a, im, ot. So those things will be the secondary clue. So now these are the summary of what we're going to deal with. Then understanding all those things, and we don't have any problem to analyze this. Let's start with this one. As you can see, actually ot ending again, ot ending, and then there are several things that you can recognize. Okay, ot ending. Then what am I supposed to think? The possibilities are: is it participle or noun ending or infinitive construct for the third he? Or maybe I know he, yod, or looks like third he. Now it's okay. And let's break it like this. Oh, what is it in the beginning? Then it is a preposition be. Now, oh, and what kind of a verb and form can come together with a preposition? Then that's really obvious. What is it? Infinitive construct. And praise the Lord, the secondary clue is important, and it's a shua. So remember the vowel pointings for infinitive construct, generally speaking, the first one is shua and then holem. Do you remember this? So it works that way. So this one is haya. Let's analyze it. Haya. And what about stem? Do you think it can be PL or hifil? If this one is a hifil, then of course it will come together with a preformative he. Okay, and then if we have he here, then he, then we are going to expect that probably the he will be assimilated, since the identical two letters are expect to be coming. So in this case, it's not the hifil stem, and at the same time it cannot be pia because the yod is not taking dageshi porte. So then what stem do we have? It's kal. And as I said, the form is quite straightforward. What kind of a form can be used together with preposition be? Then it is, what is it? Infinitive construct. What about PGN? Is there anyone still confusing, trying to put some PGN here for infinitive construct? Then you need to repent of your sin. Okay? It's nothing. It's none. Infinitive construct has no PGN. What about special feature?
프리포지션? 포리포지션?
Yeah, be preposition. Good job, Sharon. Anything else? You don't need to put ot ending. Okay, sometimes I've seen some students trying to put ot ending. It seems like ot is special ending, so ot suffix and whatever. No, don't try to do that. So then that's it. And meaning, as I said, the meaning should be, let me see. How are you going to put the meaning? Start with when.
When.
And the meaning of the verb is what? Haya means is or become. But normally, I told you, the tense is the past tense. So when something was or came. And I told you, sometimes I'll just say ignore it. As I said, normally the real subject for the infinite verb is following the verb. So in case of this case, soul is the subject. But you are not supposed to put soul here in your analysis table yet, because your analysis table has only to do with this word, right? So for the final translation, you can put it, but for your analysis table, I think you can simply put like maybe parenthesis for the subject when parenthesis open and close, and do not put anything into the parenthesis. Okay, so when parenthesis and the meaning of the verb in the past tense. Okay, so as I said, when parenthesis was or became will be acceptable for your analysis in the table. Okay, do you have any question regarding this analysis of infinitive construct used together with be or ke? Okay, so then let's put
Yeah, sorry. So what goes in the parenthesis? Sorry.
nothing.
Oh,
Okay, in the analysis, just a parenthesis. Okay, do not put anything into the parenthesis. Okay, just to put like this: when parenthesis was, because we don't know the subject.
okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. So then here, together with this, we know, now we know what the subject is. So soul. So the final translation is when soul was or became. When Saul was king, Ata. What is the Ata? Ani,
You.
Anoki. Do you
You.
remember those things? IPP, you, right? And what is this?
하는지.
Okay, look at this.
Participle. Here participle.
Right. Hiregyot
열지.
possibly indicates Hifistan, and then this man possibly indicates preformative man. So considering these two, then it's better for you to start from Hifil participle. And there are some secondary clues. What are they? Oh, definite article hey in the beginning. Oh, then it should be participle form and Hifil. How did you know? Because only participle form can be attached to the definite article hey. Okay. And at the same time, this, oh, now, wait a minute, wait a minute. Now, this one should be then first yod verb in Hebrew because the yod tends to be replaced by holem plane in the Hebrew stem. Okay, this is what we have studied previously. So now then everything is quite straightforward. So the root letters is yatsa, okay? And then can you move on? As I said, when the yod can be replaced by holem plane, when in the Hifil, and then the secondary clue is hirek yod between the second and third root letters. So now it's just safe for us to put it the Hifil stand. And what about form? And so again, what kind of form can be coming together with definite article here? And then the preformative mem generally indicates what? Participle form. Okay. So if you have preformative mem, then start with the prefix, the participle form. Okay. And then determine one stem out of four. Hifil, Hofai, Piel, Puar. Okay, and let's move on. And PGN, no specific ending, then it should be masculine, singular, but no person for participle form. Okay, masculine singular, special feature. Special feature, anything? In the beginning, we have something.
Definite article.
Definite article,
해.
해. Definite article, 해. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? So when we have definite article 해, then it normally refers to a person or persons doing this specific action. So what is the meaning of 야자 in the Hebrew stem? 야자 in the
Bring
car,
out.
go
Bring out,
force.
cast out.
Yeah, bring force. Bring force, because in the card stem is going force. So causing someone to go force means bring force. Okay. So in this case, then the one who is, was, or will be bringing force. So the one who was bringing force. Okay, that's it. Now let's move on. And another 해, another mem. And we have hirek yod. So considering those two remaining letters, and it looks familiar. What is this? This is a hollow verb bo. So you can see that the middle root letter 홀렘폴레네 is replaced by hirek yod. Okay, generally speaking, in the Hebrew stem and for hollow verb, then the second root letters will be normally replaced by hirek yod in the Hebrew stem. So that is something that you need to remember as well. But of course, when those forms are coming together with other components like verb conversive and those things, then we can expect shortening. So that is it. Something that we need to be bear in mind. So then let's analyze this one. This one, uh, the root letters, bo, stem. We are done with this. He feel. And what kind of forms? What kind of forms can come together with participle, definite article 해? Again, that's participle. And we are going to take a look at the verb chart today for this hello verb hippie participle. So, but anyway, we are okay with this right now. So, bo hippie participle and PGN, no person, only gender number, nothing at the end. So we need to put masculine, singular. Special feature, we have two. So verb, conjunction, and definite article 해. So the meaning, and the one, what is the meaning of bo? Coming in, entering, right? So then what is the meaning of bo in the Hebrew system? Calling someone to go in or come in, then we are going to say bringing in. Yeah, bringing in. So the one who was bringing in. So bringing what? DDO, right? So the action is causing this one to do this action. I mean, so Israel. So then the translation is what? And when Saul was king, you are the one who was bringing force and the one who was bringing in Israel. Okay. let's move on to the individual, each slide so that we can talk about the details. Okay. Um, Phineas, would you like to read the slide, please?
Okay. Should I read the first or the Hebrew?
Just the English one. It's okay.
Okay. Only one form infinitive is found with a preposition. The preposition can be lamed, number one, lamed, number two, bet, bet, three, and kaf. The translation of lamed plus infinitive is very different from the translation of bet or kaf plus infinitive.
Okay. So as I said, then how are we going to translate it? For be and ke, just to put when, and then put the past tense of the action. Okay. Generally speaking, and we are done with this already. So Phineas, continue, please.
When either a bet or kaf is used with the infinitive, the best translation is usually when plus the past tense of the verb infinitive.
So
when Saul was king.
Yeah, when Saul was king. Okay, let's look at more. And we didn't have any problem because everything was quite straightforward. Because looking at the preformative mem, we know that this is participle and that it is followed by holem plane, and which is normally taking place in the case of first yod verb hifil. So now this is all about participle form and first yod verb. And the most expected preformative for the strong verb is preformative mem together with pata. Okay, so ma, preformative ma is the most expected indicator of hifil participle form for the strong verb. But in case of first yod verb, then we are going to have, what is that? Mo. Okay, more. And what catches my eyes is the difference between this strong verb and first yod verb in terms of the secondary clue. As you can see that for yashab, masculine singular participle, it takes hirag yod and hirag yod. Unlike here, you can see hirang yod for feminine singular, masculine plural, feminine plural, but not for masculine singular here. But anyway, looking at this ma, we don't have any problem trying to recognize the form and the stem. Why? Because what kind of form and stem can come with the preformative ma? This specific preformative mem and the specific vowel point pata must indicate hifil participle form for the strong verb. So in this case, we don't have any problem without looking at the secondary clue. Look at this. Oh, we have a ma, and then the secondary clue hirag yod is there. So I told you, if you have hirag yod, then think about the possibility of the hifil stem. But you cannot say that, oh, because we don't have hirag yod, so it cannot be hifil stem. It doesn't work that way. So that's why I said hirag yod must be the secondary clue, not absolute clue for the hifil stem. And that's it. And also in case of mo, it's quite unique. So you see, you can see that, oh, preformative mem together with the whole lem, then okay, always think about first yod verb hifil participle. That's it. Okay. And this one is Carl strong verb. So we are supposed to know holem, and then the specific ending a, im, ot. So I think in case of mo, that's quite straightforward. and it's not really new because we are familiar with already the holem planet replacing the yod. Let's move on. And what about then this one? He feel participle for hollow verb. Let's look at this. Now, it's a comparison between strong verb and hollow verb. Okay, in terms of he feel. So now, once again, what do you expect for the strong verb in the he feel participle? Then you need to say ma. Okay, ma. And what about then hollow verbs? Then you need to say tere or shua under the preformative mem. Okay, now, so this is our first time to officially deal with all those indicators of hollow he feel participle. Okay. So the second root letter, I think one of the most important indicator for this hollow he feel participle is that you need to remember preformative mem and tere and shua, but also remember this. The second root letter will be replaced by hirek yod. Okay? Hirek yod. So that's it. So we need to be familiar with this form. And this one is kum. And then the shura is replaced by here yod. Okay, I know that it's a matter of your time to be familiar with this new form and new indicators. But what is really important is you need to deal with some cases of this specific he feel participle hollow verb in your exercise so that you will be tested and you will practice. Let me move on. So when Saul was king, you were the one who brought out and the one who brought Israel in. When Saul was king, you were the one who was bringing out and the one who was bringing Israel in. So yeah, that's it. Do you have any question regarding this? Okay. And let's move on. We have several important things here. Um, Samson, would you like to read?
Infinitive construct, hold on, let me move the pictures to the side. Infinitive construct with the pronominal suffix. Number one, an infinitive with or without a preposition can have a subject attached. Do I read the Hebrew too?
Yes, please.
Okay. Bioto or bioto bemide or bemid bear or bemid bar. Oh, Adonai. Oh no. Oh, sorry. Oh,
Sorry.
Yehuda.
All right. Okay, thank you. Right, let's look at the first one. I think it's the same verb, but the difference is it is taking a pronominal suffix at the end. As you can see that we in today's passage we didn't have o at the end. It was simply beyo, bihu yot, right? Bihu yot, but it is bihu yoto. So now you can see that the last holem plane is an addition of pronominal suffix. Now, I told you, when we have infinitive construct, then normally it doesn't have the right subject yet. So what normally follows the infinitive construct verb tends to be the real subject, okay? But except this case, if you have pronominal suffix directly attached to the verb used in the infinitive construct form, then the pronominal suffix determines the right subject as well. So there are two cases for us to determine the right subject for infinitive construct, especially the infinitive construct used together with be or ke. Because in case of a lamed, you are going to simply put to without putting the subject. Are you following me? So we are dealing with the case of infinite construct separately for the prepositions be and ke. So if we have infinitive construct used together with either be or ke, then put when, okay? Then the subject is going to follow it. So what is appearing after the infinitive construct is normally the subject. But if you have pronominal suffix like this attached to the infinitive construct, then that pronominal suffix is the subject. So now O is what is it? What PGN? 3MSG pronominal suffix. So then having this O ending, you need to put he. So in this case, your analysis will be different in terms of meaning because you already know the subject here. Unlike that of today's case. In this case, everything is the same. This one is haya. And then what about then stem? Must be kal. And what about form? Infinitive construct. Everything is same. And what about special PGN? None. Special feature should be this one and this one too. Okay, so special feature should be be, preposition together with 3MSG pronominal suffix. You need to put those things. Okay. Whatever is attached to the main verb directly, then you need to include it as a special feature. Okay. What about meaning? Then meaning start with when, and we know. So you are not supposed to put parentheses because you already know the subject here. So you are going to put 3MSG. So he. Haya means to be or become. So was or became. So the translation is when he was. What is midbar? Midbar means wilderness and prepositions. So in a wilderness. And what kind of wilderness? Yehuda, Judah. So in the wilderness of Judah. So when he was in the wilderness of Judah. Is that clear? Okay, let's move on. So when a call infinitive of the type has a suffix attached, a vowel pattern usually changes. So be flexible. Do not say, oh, where is the vowel point? It's a bit different because since we have the specific augment at the end, then it affects the vowel system. So that's what this slide is talking about. It is as if the whole lamp retract and is expressed as kametz hatu. So do not think about too much seriously. Just to remember this. Okay, you have infinitive construct form and attached to a pronominal suffix and together with a preposition in the beginning, and don't hesitate to consider it as infinitive construct. Okay, if you have Hebrew stem, if you have PS stem, then you will know because there must be the indicator, the preformative here as well. So in this case, card infinitive construct. So let's move on. The ordinary form of infinitive construct for shakab is shua and holem in the card stem. Okay, when this one is attached to this specific ending, then it tries to say, oh, where is shua? And where is Holem? Because this shakav is still there, and you see that, oh, this is b, and then this is kap, pronominal suffix, 2m as is the pronominal suffix. Then it affects the vowel system. That's why you cannot see shua and holem. So instead, we have kametz and shua shua. This is what this part is talking about. So be flexible. Oh, now, okay, do not say that, oh, where is shua and holem? Because of this augment to the word, then the vowel points have been changed. But anyway, without looking at having this important shua and holem, we can still recognize it as an infinitive construct form. Why? Because you already have the word, and then you see that, oh, what kind of this is it? What kind of thing is this? And this is preposition but, and then I know this is a pronominal suffix. And the question is, what kind of a form can be attached to a preposition? Oh, then I know this one must be infinitive construct attached to a pronominal suffix, because this second person masculine singular is going to be the subject. So now I'm telling you there are two cases um, that we are going to have the subject. We are going to determine the subject. Number one, infinitive construct, when an infinitive construct form is just coming without pronominal suffix, then normally the following noun will be the real subject. If an infinitive construct form is attached to a pronominal suffix directly, then the pronominal suffix will be the real subject. Okay, so if we don't have the pronominal suffix attached to the verb, then you need to determine the subject later. So don't be confused. In that case, you are not supposed to put any subject yet in the analysis table because we don't know the subject yet. But if you have pronominal suffix attached to infinitive construct, then you need to put the right subject in the analysis table. Do you understand? Okay. Let me move on. So the translation is when and when you lie down. Okay, let's do this. I will give you 5 minutes just to analyze the main verb. Okay. You can find it here. And yes, analyze it. Okay, let's do this. Pierce, can you help us to analyze the first one? Root letters?
Um, is it Malak?
Yes, Malak.
Mem Lamed Kaf?
Move on. Stem.
Cow?
Okay.
Form infinitive construct.
Infinitive construct. Good job. Go ahead.
PGN none.
None.
Special features preposition be
Yeah, preposition.
and pronominal suffix 3 MSG.
Yeah, 3 MSG pronominal suffix. Okay. So what is your translation then?
When he ruled.
Yes. Good job. When he ruled. Or rain. Yeah. So it's good that we have pronominal suffix in this case. Then the pronominal suffix determines the right subject. If we didn't have this, then you are not supposed to put he here. So when something ruled would be your translation. Okay. Romero, would you like to try?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Verb as Shama,
Right. Shama. Stem.
Kal,
Kal.
infinitive construct,
Infinitive construct. Do not simply put infinitive because infinitive absolute can take place too. So to make sure, infinitive construct and
none, PGN,
none. Special feature.
Ka, preposition,
Preposition.
K,
Good job.
preposition,
Right.
meaning there is a subject. So I can include the subjects
No.
when, no,
Right. When parenthesis open and nothing and parenthesis closed.
yeah,
Shama.
when the one who
So you are not supposed to put the translation, I mean, the subject yet. So you just think as if we have something here. That's why we are using parentheses here. So when parenthesis and then the meaning of the verb.
you heard.
Yeah, when heard.
When heard. Laban.
Listen. So you are not supposed to put you. Okay, this is really important. If you don't have the subject, right, attach it to the verb yet, then I know that Laban is going to be the subject, but you in your analysis table, Laban is not supposed to be there yet, but it will be appearing for the final translation. That's why I'm saying you are not supposed to put anything for the subject. So, but you need to indicate there must be subject. So that's why we are using parentheses. All right. So put when the parenthesis heard.
Heard.
Good job. So the final translation would be definitely then when Laban heard.
Heard.
Okay. Let's move on to this one. Let me just quickly do this. Okay. Why do we have ot ending? And this first is la so the third he again. And then we have shua and holem here. So this one is identical to the typical form of infinitive construct for the third he. So the thing is, it's la, kal, and infinitive construct, non-PGN. The special feature is hit and yod. And what kind of pronoun suffix do we have? Hit and yod indicates what? First, common singular pronominal suffix. That is the special feature. So the meaning is maybe I think this one without Bob, what is that? The preposition here, just probably you can put, it's a bit tricky. How are we going to? Because we need this in order for us to translate it. maybe you can simply put when here as well. When, and then the pronoun suffix first common singular indicates I. So when I, what is the meaning of la? La to
To
see, right? Yeah, not our friend to see, but the verb to see. So yeah, when I saw, it's a akat, it's a after. So the final translation is your, what is it? Face.
Face.
Right. So after I saw your face would be the translation. So it's the same. Okay, this one is a little bit different. As I said, this one is a preposition, and we have o, la, and ot ending. See, this whole name, defectiva, not plene, is also considered to be ot ending as well. We call it defective writing, and it happens many times. So anyway, it's the same, but except this one. What is this for? He and pata. This one is a diagnostic of the hifil stem. So the stem will be hifil. So then that's la a and hifil stem infinitive construct, no special pgn, pgn, and special feature should be pe rame position. And I'm going to put preformative he. Please don't do that. And some of you did it all the time. Don't do that. Okay. And then 3 MSG pronominal suffix should be there as a special feature too. So we have two special features. What are they? Lamed be preposition and 3 MSG pronominal suffix. So the translation will be what? When he, la means to see, but in the Hebrew stem, then what is it? Cause somebody to see means show. So we are going to put and when he showed. What about this? Actually, this one is the same. And pronominal suffix, then you need to figure out, oh, it's not ot ending, but tab ending. So do you remember there are two cases that are coming together with ot ending or tab ending in the infinitive construct form? So ot ending indicates the third he, and tab ending indicates the first what? First yod verb. But halak wants to be yallak. That's why halak always follows the pattern of the first yod verb. So in this case, it's a halak. Okay, halak. Halak, ka stem, infinitive construct, non-PGN, special feature, verb conjunction, be preposition, 2 MSG pronominal suffix. So we have 3 special features. What is our translation? And when you halak walked. Okay. Do you have any question? Okay, let's move on to an important thing here. Exercise. It will help us to remember something. Actually, this one is a bit tricky. These things. But when it comes to other things, it's quite straightforward. Let's look at this. Are you familiar with this? Okay, looking at the preformative man, then you need to think about the possibility of participle. And today we learned that, oh, hirajot, and I'm familiar with this. It's a kum. Now, I told you, in the Hifistan of participle form for hollow verb, what kind of vowel point do we expect? Sere or shua. And then the secondary clue was the middle letter should be replaced by hirek yod. So now everything is there. So this one is kum, Hifistan, participle. Obviously, why? Because of preformative mem. Okay, and then what about PGN? No person, only gender number, so masculine, singular.
Singular.
Right. What about this? Preformative mo must indicates, it's quite straightforward. What is it? First, yod bab,
어?
he feel,
기필
participle.
participle.
No, don't, this one is yashab, and then im ending, so consider it. This one is masculine, plural. And we have ha, and the preformative man, and we know this Allah. So, this one, what kind of stem can come with pata? So then, preformative man determines the form of participle, and then the pata under the man indicates what? He feels stem. So now ha is definite article hai. So we know this one is Allah. He feels stem and participle. What about this one? We have ki, preposition, and shua, holem, praise the Lord. Indicator of infinitive
Infinitive.
construct.
car.
Right. What about stem? Can it be PL? No, we don't have dagesh. Can it be hifil? No, we don't have preformative hair. So it's quite straightforward. So kai stem, infinitive construct, no PGN, special feature, ke preposition. So translation is when, parenthesis, we don't know the subject, Shama listened or heard. How do you think about this? What kind of a form can come with u ending? There are two possibilities, I think. What kind of a form? We know that this is a verb. So, and it cannot be PL nor he feel because we don't have a preformative hair and dagesh porte, so it should be kal. But what kind of a form can come together with u ending?
Affix and the
Affix.
imperative.
Right?
원시 피
Affix. Number one is one affix, and then emos, you're right. Imperative. Okay, if you think this is kal, then do you think this one can be a fixed form or should be imperative form? It depends on the vowel point. Now it's the time for us to look at the vowel point. So this is how you're going to use your verb chart. If you don't remember all those details in terms of a vowel point, then you need to go to the two parts. What is it? As I said, okay, I'm going to take a look at 3C, PL, a fixed form, especially check the vowel point, and E, U, na ending. So must be nothing, E, U, na. So second person masculine plural imperative form. Okay, then let's go to your verb chart. And where can you see the identical vowel points? You don't need to look at maybe third guttural would be fine too because of ain. And you don't need to look at hifil, third guttural, call, then where can you see it? Can you see it at affix 3 CPL? The first vowel point should be comments for a fixed form. And imperative 2 MPL will take hirek and shua. So now you know that this one is 2 and PL imperative form. Got it? Okay, so this one is imperative form, kal. We are done here, okay? And I want you to work on this. It's not your assignment, but if you can do it by yourself, it will be really good exercise to remind you of what we have studied so far. So your assignment, by the way, we will come back to this later. Your assignment is supposed to be posted, but Elabaya sent me. Page 172 to 73, number 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Do you have any question? Is it clear? Okay. So as I said, we are almost done with Hebrew then. Praise the Lord. Okay. So don't feel like, oh, I cannot do this. Just to continue to move on. Okay. Don't give up. We will be able to pass the course. Okay. I'm going to able to I'm going to be able to pass you. So don't give up. All right. So if you don't have any question, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Okay. God bless you all.
Thank you, sir. God bless.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.